So this is happening? I didn't exactly plan on making this deal so quickly. I only really made this offer 2 days ago. Gave him the contract, activated a release clause of £12 million because it was for Champions League teams. I thought, okay, there's no way he's going to accept it. And here we are, literally just 2 days later, he's accepted the contract. So I'm about to make Dennis Seaman my highest paid player and my biggest ever transfer fee. So how about that? I have no idea if this is going to be the transfer record either, but we're about to do this. Dennis Seaman is about to become my biggest ever transfer fee and my highest paid player at the age of 19. So this would be interesting. Unsurprisingly, the fans love this, and I think this is really good. Also, the fact he's only 19 means that we're going to make a good profit from him as well. 25 to 38 million pounds is his current value. He's got a 5-year contract. We're in the Champions League. He's 6'4". This makes a lot of sense to me. Driven personality, good Bundesliga player, consistent, and he is better than our goalkeepers. So when Fernandes and Rico are 32 and 30 respectively, might be 31 week actually, no. Yeah, 31, turning 32, and Fernandes is going to be turning 33 this year. It makes sense to bring a new goalkeeper in who is young and very, very talented. We were going to have to make this deal regardless, and I had the opportunity to sign him for such a low fee, and he's not even back from his holiday yet. So this will be interesting. That being said, I've also decided to just loan out a load of people because we can make good money, apparently. That being said, I'm actually going to talk about Elijah Khan, who I don't think I've ever really talked before, but he's in our second team and is considered good enough to be a Bundesliga player, decent one to be honest with you, but he would be my backup as a DM. And he is someone who would also count towards registration, so I might be thinking about keeping this guy in the first team and promoting him to the first team, in fact. But he's also got offers for loans, which could also help him improve. So I'm at a mixed situation where I don't know if I want to send him out on loan again because he's been on loan for the last 2 years and his time in Denmark has really helped him out. So it's one of those things. The reason I bring this up is because he's got a loan offer from JLAB, a team that I've managed in the past in Football Manager. They're in the Jupiter Pro League. But what I hadn't realised about JLAB is that they got second place last year and are in the Champions League. So they quite literally could end up being in the group stage or the league phase of the Champions League. And for whatever reason, they want to make an important player, and it makes sense in my mind that we could send him their way. The fact they play a similar style to us makes sense, and it's a good opportunity, which means I'm going to turn down Nuremberg, and I'm actually going to accept this, even though if I was to look at my squad, I'm going to look at this quickly as well. If I was to look at this, I would say Muller's my first choice, and Elijah's there. So Elijah, quite literally in the mind of my backroom staff, is a really good player, so it makes sense that we could do this. But you also got a lot of players that could just play there as well. It's not like I'm going to massively miss him if I do him on loan and give him some first team football. So the opportunity is there, and I'm kind of excited for it, really. Oh, and Jean-Luc Diambe is on his way out. We've accepted 2 bids for £2.2 million from Bochum and Sebali. So there's that. I turned down an offer from Warsaw because they wanted to make us pay some of his wages. And I said, no, get that idea out of your head. And I'm going to turn my nose up at you because you want to do that. I don't want to do it. So there's that. But with the new signings, including Dennis Seaman, he is now helping us get up to 10th place in the prediction charts. That was before he even signed, to be fair. So Howard Bellis and Noel Buck have also made us really good in this regards. And the fact that Simon immediately in our Medium Dream 11 is there says a lot. Oliveira is back, and he's kind of exciting. I've decided to take him off the loan list. He's good enough to be a good player in this division now, and he's most likely going to be starting as the right back. Our starting right back, no less. So this is an opportunity for me to take this and look at how good he can be. Also, look at all these pros we've got. He's pretty much average everywhere, but he's so good in everything else that he is considered to be worthwhile. He's also homegrown in club and nation. So Nicolas Oliveira is very much a player that is homegrown effectively, if you take away this period here, and has become good enough that we can just say, yeah, He's gone from the third tier, then to the second tier, now in the top tier, and he's good enough to start. And as a right back and a left back, it makes a lot of sense to use him. It's really exciting though that we've got a player of this quality now in our team, and we could just do good things with him. So if I was to build a squad up right now and say what my best area is, I actually realized my weakest area of the team now is my left winger, which means that Parai, who I gave the new contract to, is now the weakest part of my team, which is slightly awkward, but he also can play there. He's also more of a winger than anything else, but he does use his right foot, so using him as the inverted winger does make sense in my mind to do it. So it's annoying, but I think he can still do a good job regardless. The fact he likes big matches as well makes him very useful, and he's consistent. So while he's only a decent player for the Bundesliga, it's not like it's a bad player at all. In fact, everyone on my first team now is considered at least decent for the Bundesliga. And I think at best it's still good, but it's not like we've got a terrible squad here. Ludovic Viz is still wanted, and it's now Leeds and now Nasser that want him, but I think we can get £30 million for him. Esposito is also starting, I think, for this year, but Glatzel can come in. He is still considered a good Bundesliga player. I may have offered him a new contract, by the way. I may have given in. And honestly, with Dennis Seaman coming in and the offer and the wages he's on now, I had no excuse anymore. Given that I've literally made Seaman my highest paid player by 19 grand. Yeah, this was that was kind of a situation where I realized if I give him this contract, there's no excuse anymore. And I have no excuse, so we're gonna go and do that. Also, for Noel Buck, we signed for 5.75 million, is now worth 33 to 45 million. Also, Noel Buck, we only signed for 5.75 million because of his lease clause. He's now worth between 33 and 45 million, so that's good. Even if he does have a release clause of 35 million pounds. I mean, it's still a massive profit, don't get me wrong. I'm just a bit surprised that I didn't see that coming, you know? Either way, a good signing. Also, I love the fact that we have got a focus for the left wingers, and it's pretty much said, yeah, this is our weakest ever team now. So where do we go from here? Who do we sign? And I look at some of the people and I think, actually, we could sign some young talent like Cad Cowell, because that's still my mind, especially now I've got the opportunity to say we can just do this. He would be an inside forward first and foremost as well as a winger, but from Guadalajara, I think this makes sense in my mind to do this still. Between 8.75 and 10.5 million, we can do that, I think. It just feels like an opportunity to do good stuff. It just means that the Parai contract makes little sense anymore. And that might have been a mistake on my part, but what can you do? Still, I can look at this in the meantime and say, okay, what else can we go for? We can go for Christopher Scott, admittedly, who is definitely inverted winger, but isn't as good. He's also only 23. And has less value to him, so it makes sense we can go for that as well. What I'm looking for is players that are not going to shy away from the big games. And I don't think we're going to have the issue with Cal, but I also want a cheap option as well. So having the idea of this guy as well as an opportunity is interesting. And his personality resolute is also going to be good, but I just need to figure out... Actually, that wage might be the reason I go for him, you know? It really might be the reason we do it. I got options. But I think my main thought process behind this now is I kind of got to wait until we make a sell somewhere before we make an offer, before we really go and sink our teeth into the finances of some of these players. In the meantime, I am going to add these three to the shortlist for a year, just so I have them and so we know if something happens, you know, if a team decides, oh, I'm going to sign one of these three players, I had the opportunity to do that and we go from there. Other than that, they're the only three teams. Other than that, they're the only three players that we need to worry about. Other than that, though, they're the only three players that we are going to keep an eye on. We don't really need to sign any more players at the moment, honestly. And we might be waiting on sales because of the wage budget thing. Yeah, the wages is going to be the thing that will keep us down for a little bit. And until that's sorted out, we can't really sign more players anyway. So we'll have to wait and see. I've also let Never be on my list of players that could go out on loan, and it makes sense to do that. Also, the 17.75 million apparently is our record now for highest fee. I don't know if that's actually the case or not, but the transfer record actually for players that we signed is still belonging to Philippe Kostic, who, ironically enough, we also signed from Stuttgart back in the day, 9 years ago. What is he doing these days? Oh, he's abroad in Saudi these days. He must have just signed for them for £8.5 million. Okay, fair enough. He just literally went this year. So Pep Guardiola is officially back at Bayern Munich in a save, which is interesting. Makes you wonder how long it'll be before we have to worry about Pep deciding to be really good at Bayern Munich with the team. Lazio signed a new contract, which is now 36 grand a week, which is a bit more money than I want to admit. Well, Oliveira has signed a new contract, which is now worth 20 grand a week, which is why I wanted to make a point of talking about him earlier. And we're spending 87 grand a week more than we want to be. That's not good, is it? Okay, so we're making two sales. Heyer is on his way out for £875,000. We're getting 11 grand off the books. And Diombe is also leaving for £2.2 million for Bochum. They are in the Bundesliga. It made sense to make these deals. Bochum are in the division this year, so we're going to see them. And we're going to take on Diombe today, or at least this season anyway. Either way, it's going to be one of those things where it made sense. We're making a profit on him either way. But yeah, Heyer and Diombe, that's about 3 million in itself, so there you go. Oh, okay. So Asta, we're going to offer for Asta now. And this is interesting. I think we spend £2 million to get him in. There's actually a profit on him, but I feel like we can get more money for Asta. And he would be third choice right now as the right back, which sounds crazy to say the least, but I'm also going to tone this down for now and see what we can do in the meantime. But Charleroi can take Elijah, so there's that. We're going to make this offer accepted either way. It feels like a good opportunity to do some good things. So, I'm back. And I didn't think I'll be able to say that we're about to make a loan offer for Liam Delap for Man City. As a squad player, I'm paying all his wages, but it's only 8 grand a week. And generally, I'm really considering this as an option. He's available for loan. He likes big matches. He's consistent. He is considered a player that I feel like I should know what it says. Is considered a good Bundesliga player. Wouldn't improve massively, but for a loan opportunity after his stint in Watford in the Championship and whole year before, might be worthwhile doing just because of how low the fee is. There's no playing fee. The wages is good, and I think his contract expires end of this season. So if we wanted to, we could probably get him on a free transfer as well. He would know one of our players already, so I'm going to make this offer. And I'm actually going to see if we can get this guy to sign for us on a loan deal. Because that's crazy that it's available, you know? All right. We've got Liam Delap signing for us on loan. This feels like a no-brainer. We just actually said Honduras never got on loan, which is why we are here, making this decision. Okay, so Levante have made a bid for Fernandez. And Newcastle apparently interested as well, which is interesting. We signed Fernandez for 1.1 million. This would be a profit. And I actually want to see if I can get 2 million. Actually, make it up to 3 million and go from there. Let's see if this would be interesting that they want to do this or not. Okay, that's Fernandez off the books. Potentially, he's a homegrown nation player, but it's not like it's the end of the world. Let's make this let's accept that and go from here. Andres Muller has also signed a brand new contract, which is now seeing me pay 28 grand a week and has 11 million release clause as well, so there you go. I'm actually going to decide to sign this guy, Alidu, because he's actually homegrown club and he is considered a decent Bundesliga player, could become a good Bundesliga player, and he's available for 800,000, so it feels like an opportunity to go for this. And the fact that they're willing to sell him for 775,000 is good. Alright, so he has the same interest in us as Sandhausen, which is interesting. I think it's the fact that Sandhausen probably can offer him first in football, whereas we're going to be making him a fringe player effectively. And I'm okay with this 11 grand a week. That's literally the easiest deal I've ever do. Alright, let's see what we can do. Alright, so Suhanen is going to go on loan to Karlsruhe. No idea how he's going to do, but hopefully he has a good time. Alright, so Fernandez is leaving us for 2.5 million pounds up front with an extra 300,000 down the line. I really liked him, but at the end of the day, I feel like it was too good to turn down, especially when you realize we're making a profit of 1.4 million here. I could have got more, but with Seaman coming in and taking his players, it just makes sense to sell on Fernandez. We don't need two experienced goalkeepers as backups here. So let's sell Fernandez to Levante. I might make this move. I think I'm going to make the decision to try and sign Cole. I don't know how it's going to go down with him. but he's a winger who could play inside forward and inverted winger. So I'm going to try and get him. I'm going to see how much they want for the guy first and foremost. But I'm actually going to ask the agent first. We're keen. Oh, yeah, she doesn't want that much money. All right. Can I get a bit lower wages? Fair enough. Yeah, okay, we're filled with that. 8 mil? Okay, they want 10 million. I'll tell you what, I am willing to say 7.5, but I'll make it so it's another 2.5 mil over here. Get rid of this, have that, all right? And there we go. But yeah, another American player would be one of those things that we're looking into. An important player, he would be important and would very much be a player I'm looking into, and I don't mind this. I'll like to make that 60 mil because I think we can get 60 mil and 32 grand a week. What was the thing he said that the agent said he was willing to do? 29,000. You know what? I think the 32 and a half, I'll try and get down to 30, see if he's willing to go for that. But the set-on fee, if we get the money either way, it will be good, I think. Okay, they don't like the fact I've forced a bit of money in. So let's go 32 grand and go from there. Okay, want more. How about 33,000? Yeah, okay. I'm okay with this. Cadcal to sign for us could be a good signing here. Even if he's not very adaptable, his pace and speed could be good. He's only 21, so we could definitely rock with this. And here we go. Cadcal is officially going to sign for us. Means that maybe I don't need the other guy, but the fact we got Cal to sign for us is good. Another £9 million been spent, and who knows what we can do here. And Parai is concerned. You're right to be concerned, my friend. All right, so we now need to talk to Parai because he is concerned about being replaced, and given the amount of money we're spending paying his wages, I kind of have to use him. So that's the thing we need to look into. But he can play multiple positions. I actually could just use him in midfield generally, so this is not a terrible situation to be in. Actually, Sean, can you talk to him first? No. Alright. I'm going to just say about this guy that if there's a certain caliber come available, need to do anything about to bring him in, he's not happy. Alright, cool. If he's concerned about it, I'll just sell him. It's not the end of the world for me. So we're considering selling him? No. Alright. I'm also going to reject this move then, since we don't really need this guy, because I was literally going to buy him for the left-hand sub, but if you can play him, I could still get him, to be honest with you. I didn't figure this one out, but I don't think he'll be a player we bring in still. Nah. I think what we're going to do is we are still... No, actually, he's a fringe player. I might still bring him anyway, but you never know. We'll get a scout report. Gonna say third. Actually, no. We're gonna turn it down because of the wages. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, with Carol signing for us, we are now officially expected to be finishing in 9th place, which is good, promising signs. And Carol and Buck are both considered our key players, despite the fact if we look at the profile page of the club, that Ludovic Reis is considered our key player still. So we got an opportunity to do good things, and we just gotta go out our business. What I'm gonna do is end this here. I plan on coming back for Hamburg's return to the Champions League, and I have no idea who we're gonna get in the Champions League. Obviously, not been drawn yet, but it'd be good to see that game and who we get drawn against. But either way, I hope you guys enjoy yourselves. I hope you guys would like to share this video, and that you subscribe to the channel. It really does help me a lot. What do you think of our transfer quiz so far? Let me know that in the comments down below. But anyway, until next time, goodbye, and well, good night.